Okay, now we're going to start working on the power inverter. It's 5,000 watts and 10,000 watts maximum starting power. Right now we have 5 batteries in the system, 3 on one side and 2 over here on this side. Got them jumpered across. These batteries are wired in what they call parallel, which means you got all your positive leads are all connected together. Plus, 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 negative, negative, negative. That keeps your voltage at 12 volt, but it brings up your amp hours. Makes your amp hours a lot longer. Yeah, and all these wiring right here, I had to basically measure them, and I didn't put the ends on them. I got them on eBay. I just had them pre-made, so I had to count up how many I needed. And 2-foot ones there. I think 8-inch ones there. But I had to put the order in and wait on it to come in. And anyway, the prices wasn't too bad, but I had to basically custom make all that stuff so it'll fit my project here. So these are not the ideal batteries for this system. These are deep cycle marine. That's your storage that's held into the batteries. What you really need is something around 100 amp hours. You need something around 100 amp hours for your solar power. I'm not sure how you say the name on this inverter here, but Giandel. But we got this running the lights in here. Turn it off. Kills our lights on the lights we're shooting with. This is a pretty cool inverter. It's got you hook up your house power here. It's got 4 plug-ins here. Got your ground here, your switch here, your remote wires here, and got USB connectors here. A nice little front panel. Shows a battery symbol on how many volts you got, how much the output is, 125 volt. That's a really nice converter. See, I believe that one's around $400. I'll put the prices and everything in the video later. Prices, and see about putting a link to it. This is a modified inverter, and for what I'm using it for, it's fine. But if I had to do it over again, I would probably get a pure sine wave. That basically means you have pure power coming out of it. And you can basically run anything you want, computers, TVs, and all that kind of stuff. This kind of has choppy signal coming out, the square waveforms. But anyway, it works fine for what I use it for. Out here in the garage running motors and run battery charger. You can run these lights here. This light here I'm running with it. It's running, it can run drills, grinders, battery chargers. It can run basically anything in your shop. I've tried running it on the compressor once, and back when I was doing the test video, which would have been the last video I just showed, it blowed out that 40 amp fuse I had installed. This one here I have it installed. This right here is a 200 amp breaker. Comes right off the batteries, right into the inverter. I want to do a test run on it. Just hit that button right there. Killed it. Lost your power. Okay, to restart it, push it back. And restart it. So that's a 200 amp breaker on there. When I was testing the compressor, I only had a 40 amp fuse in it. And it didn't like that very well. Anyway, it popped it. I should have known better than that. That's a pretty good sized motor on there. So these batteries has been going for about 90 days now. And we're gonna check a couple of them. We're gonna see the battery. We're gonna check the fill level on them. See how full they are. We got some distilled water we can put in them. Draw it out with this. And then put the water back in with that. Got this heater going today. Feels pretty good out here. I want to show you this is not quite peak sunshine right now. I think we're a little bit past. I was going to get out here earlier. I was kind of wanting to get peak sunshine, but this is what we're bringing in right now. Like I say, we're past peak sunshine. So you can see we're bringing in 106 watts. Yeah, it was getting a lot more than that earlier. Okay, back here on the Bluetooth, we got 120 watt. That's your charge power, 124. We're not in peak sunshine right now. I should have did that an hour or so ago. And got busy watching the hearings on TV about the elections. That's another mess to talk about, huh? But we got 18.6 volt, a little over 6 amp, 100%, 10C, that's your temperature of your batteries. Down below, we're running 4 watts, 0.27 amp, 13.9 volt. This also goes into other things down here. You can click on that. It pops up your power generated, power use same day, 85 amp hours, discharge rate. It goes into battery over discharge times 51 times, battery full charge times 300 or 32 times. Anyway, it gives you lots of information on there. And you got this other screen. It's basically high voltage disconnect, charge limit voltage you can set up and everything in there. I just leave it pretty much whatever the presets are. You can restore factory defaults. But like I say, to get into this, you go clear out of it. Pop it up like that, and you see you're not getting any information on it right now. So you got to connect to it. I wish they could have it where you could connect to it all the time, but yeah, click down here at the bottom. Search device. And that's where it popped in there. Hit that button. And that's where it accepted it. And then you can go here to this one. Now you got your screens on. Okay, these batteries are just plain old lead acid batteries. They got your caps on top of them. And we're gonna disconnect one here pretty quick. We'll disconnect this back one back here. We're gonna, like I say, these have been running 90 days now. We're gonna check the levels on them. We're gonna see how much water's in them, or basically acid. And we're gonna add some to it if we need to. So I'll get a screwdriver. Okay, I'm going to disconnect this one here. And I'm going to disconnect this one. Basically going to take this whole jumper out of here. Nighttime would be a good time to do this kind of stuff, but we still got power coming into these batteries. So I'm going to take this jumper off. And then we got that one taken off, so we don't have to worry about the black one. It can sit by itself. It can sit over here. You don't have to worry about it sparking against anything. So now we'll pull this battery out. Flip it around this way. And I've got them blowed off. You've probably seen that earlier. Okay, they're not too bad. You mainly just don't want no chunks of any kind falling down into it. Pop these things off of here. Okay, I get my phone, turn on the light. I was going to bring a little pin light and I forgot to grab it in the office. These all look really good. Yeah, they're normal level. So that's good. I figured maybe after 90 days I'd have to start filling them back up, but they look fine. Okay, we got this battery tester here that I got on eBay. It basically tells you your battery hydrometer, made in the USA. Okay, see it's up there in the green area. I'll get a closer shot of that. Okay, looks like it's right in the middle there. You don't want to get none of that stuff on you, that's for sure. I'll squeeze all that back out. So it's in between the fair and the good condition. I guess we can try another one, see what it does. See that next battery? It's up there in the green. So it looks a little bit better. The way I have this wired up is really not the ideal way. What I'd really like to do is have a power coming in on one end of the batteries and a negative at the other end of the batteries. That way it runs through all your batteries instead of just concentrating on the first two batteries over there. So I got one charge controller hooked up, first one to that one, the second charge controller is hooked up to that one. So maybe it might be a good idea to put one charge controller on this end and then put the other charge controller on the very other end, because according to that meter, that last battery is not quite up to par. See, that one's up in the green area. So now let's check the next one. Squirt all that out. Okay, this one ought to be just kind of about where the other one was, kind of in the middle. Now we'll check these two front ones up here. It just says it's fair. That's better. Okay, I ain't gonna worry about the other one. It's got too many wires over the top of it. I'll get this battery hooked back up. Yeah, you want to leave a little bit of gap between these batteries in case they do get hot. I got 5 batteries here. I'd like to get about a couple more. I've got room right in here. Maybe one here, one over there. Be nice to have just a couple more. At nighttime, I usually don't use this thing that much at all. I mainly use in the daytime. The only thing about solar power is when it's cloudy, this thing ain't much more than a phone charger. That's the only thing about solar power. Yeah, if it's cloudy outside, you won't get much power at all. I was hoping to get more power. That's one of the reasons why I doubled up on my system, is to help out with the cloudy days. But it helped, it definitely did, but it's still not quite as good as I was hoping anyway. Basically, on a solar system, it just depends on your power needs. If you want to run like a garage with it, this size right here would probably work. If you want to run the garage, run your shop lights, run an occasional buffer or grinder, drill off your controller here, run your lights, run your garage door openers. See, that's just something that's just going to be just quick power, just up, then back down. You'd have to leave this on all the time, anytime you use in the garage. But yeah, a system about this size would be just about right for this garage. But would like to try it maybe in the summertime. This winter, I'm not going to even begin to try it because I do have heat tape that I do have to have out on the patio. Got to make sure that stays running going into winter. People buy them for RVs, they buy them for trucks, buy them for boats. Yeah, they can, construction, yeah, a truck with the, where you can use occasional power. Run them right off the truck and have all the power you need. Probably people that do photography, and I heard people, plumbers, they like these too. Have them on their truck and they can run, you know, cutters and stuff to cut pipe and whatever they need. This thing is just barely warm. Really don't have much coming out of it right now. Now this line right here, I'm going to go ahead and answer this question, my first question on here. Jason from JackFab was asking, what do I run with it? I run pretty much whatever's, you know, whatever I need in the shop. Drills, saws, lights, any of that kind of stuff for the garage when I'm out here. And then also the main thing I run with it is this line right here. This goes to a 6-gallon water heater. I'll insert a picture here of what that looks like. It's basically for a boat. It has your inputs for your hot water, and also has a way to plug it in. And I have that up under the house, and then I have the cold water going into that. That basically preheats my water before it gets to the hot water heater. So 6 gallons don't sound like much, but you're using hot water at your kitchen sink, bathroom sinks, and you get a shot of cold water into the 6-gallon water heater. It has a chance to warm it up before it hits the big tank. That means your big tank don't have to work as hard. And I even checked it out this morning and made sure I let it run for a couple minutes and checked my line coming in, the cold water line coming into the hot water heater, and it was definitely warm. So I let it run for a couple hours to just want to check and make sure this thing works, because it really don't spark or nothing when you turn it on. Okay, back over here to these gauges on your watts. See, that'd be your power down here. See, that's 150 watts. That can be over 300 watts in the, sometimes higher than that in the peak sunshine. Okay, right there is 97 watts. And this in here is 151 right there. This has got 4 panels out there. This is the lower level, and this is the upper level. It has 5 panels. See the difference in power? That's how much one panel makes. But I still need to check this set here, make sure they're all, check my connectors again, make sure they're all connected good. So it seemed like that one there should be a little bit higher than that. And this is your amps coming in, 11 amps. This got 7 amps. And that's your voltage. Anyway, I got them gauges working good. Okay, some might ask the question, why did you go 12 volt instead of 24 volt or 48 volt? 24 volt is more efficient, and so is 48. But I chose 12 volt because you have so much stuff that you can run on 12 volt. Like this here's a little light, LED light, that you can just plug in, 12 volt. You got pumps and all kind of different stuff you can plug right off of your batteries. You know, if you want to run a wire off somewhere and power up something, lights, or I got a little string of 12 volt lights right here in my garage there. It's like a night light, so you don't have to turn on the main lights. If anybody has any questions, just put them down below. The next video is going to be on questions and answers. So last chance to get in your questions, and I'll see if I can't get them answered. But yes, 48 volt is more efficient, and so is 24 because you're closer to the voltage that you're trying to get to. This got to step up 12 volt all the way up to 125 volts, and that's a long ways to go on it. But for no more than what I use this for, then it's not really a hobby, but it's just something mainly for emergency use. We've already had an ice storm in October. That's crazy, huh? Had an ice storm in October. My mom was out of power for a little over 24 hours. And it didn't affect us over here too much. I mean, we still had power the whole time. But if I had, and she didn't have no freezer, she didn't have no refrigerator. See, if I had this system over there, she could, basically if I lose power here, I can keep my refrigerator going, I can keep my freezer going, even all night. I mean, I can at least, it may run all night, I'm not sure, but the more batteries you have, the better chance you have to making it all night. But it would definitely run in the daytime. But she don't even got a generator over there, so she was just waiting on the power to come on. I told her to buy a generator, but she hasn't done it yet. Now we're a little bit closer to peak sunshine. Got 252 on the top ones, 183 on the bottom one. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, it's pretty close to peak sunshine. The sun is so far south now, it's almost into, well, here in, 21 days or 20 days will be the winter solstice. So then that would be the lowest point, and then the sun will start coming back. So it's at the low, getting close to the lowest point right now. Yeah, I should be at, I've seen 325, close to 350 on the top panels. Got 183 on the bottom panels. So that's not too bad on the bottom panel. Like I say, I still need to check them and see. Okay, thanks for watching. Put your questions down below and we'll see if we can get them answered.